In the 19th century of the Christian era, an artifact was discovered in Nineveh, the city from which I, Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, once reigned. This prism detailed how I trapped Hezekiah, king of Judah, like a bird within a cage, a king who paid me a vast amount of tribute, including performers from his royal court, to bribe me from conquering his beloved Jerusalem.
Then, in the year 2009, Dr. Eliakim led an archaeological excavation in Jerusalem. With the help of Herbert W. Armstrong College volunteers, she unearthed a clay seal that many years before had belonged to me, King Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz. This further verified my existence and offered validity as to why a famous tunnel in Jerusalem bears my name. As I carved through solid rock to divert our water sources from the Assyrian invaders. But our salvation was not granted until the prophet Isaiah and I called on our all-powerful, undefeated living God. This explains the central symbol on my seal, the Son of Righteousness with healing in its wings, depicting not only how I was healed at that time of a life-threatening illness, but also how those wings sheltered our city from the pagan Assyrian invaders.
Just a meter from the seal of King Hezekiah, in the same layer of earth, Dr. Mazar and the Armstrong volunteers discovered another clay seal, this one belonging to me, Isaiah the prophet. These two artifacts found on the Ophel in Jerusalem not only confirm our actual existence, but together with the Sennacherib prism, they verify the account of the most miraculous rescue in Jerusalem's history as detailed in the biblical record. This is that history.
Eliakim did bring grim tidings to the king.
Hordes of rising waters from the north.
Our tide shall overthrow the land in which we flow.
But by the hand of God he is sent forth. Assyria, it is the rod,
Anger and fury of Almighty God.
Assyria, it is the staff of God's strong indignation and wrath.
All nations that stand in my path, they are driven away like the chaff.
There is one place left to take, and soon his fist will shake against our city and its holy hill.
Until toward our place this king will turn his face and see his greed for Zion soon fulfilled.
he cannot comprehend the violence he intends, for he is just God's tool.
Deep within his heart, he yearns and thirsts for war.
I fight in God of nations, not a few.
Assyria,
It is the rod, anger and fury of Almighty God.
Assyria,
It is the staff of God's strong indignation and wrath.
All nations that stand in my path,
they are driven away like a chaff.
Assyria's net is a serious threat, and our hosts cannot face it alone. Without any aid, our foe will invade, and our city will be overthrown. A sure alliance is what we need. A sure alliance, for this we plead. So from this threat, our city can be freed.
Now only one nation can stop an invasion to keep our great country alive. We know they can save, though we once were their slaves. In the shadow of Egypt, we thrive. Isaiah the prophet, with a voice like a trumpet, warned us against this alliance. Shebna carves out our tomb, for this in God's view is an act of great defiance. How could we forget the 3 years Isaiah went through our city completely unclothed, and no shoes on his feet as he roamed through the streets? On our minds this truth was imposed, how Egypt would soon be exposed. Despite the temptations, there's no help in nations Assyria so soon would lay bare. As our maps are reshaped, we can see no escape. If we heed this, then we would beware. Yes, a sure alliance is what we need. Yes, a sure alliance, we are agreed. But only with our God can we succeed.
Mother, should we have fear, since the temple is here? God's presence is right in our midst. God's house will endure, thus it keeps us secure. Do we think we will cease to exist? Why should we call again on Egypt to assist?
habitation is not found on tabernacle grounds, just because they bear a sacred name. My son, the hearts that tremble become God's holy temple. What man can be the house of his acclaim? Though in heaven he resides, in the lowly he abides. Their humble hearts the places of his rest. Though he made the hosts on high, yet one can catch his eye. The afflicted, smitten, broken, and oppressed. Revive the spirit of the humble. Revive the spirit of the meek. So you revive the eyes of the eternal. For you revive the spirit that he seeks. We are all unclean. What righteousness we glean amounts to soiled rags and nothing more. We are carried off by sin as leaves upon the wind, are withered by the gales on which they soar. The proud will fall to woe when the lofty are brought low. God will level every mountain, hill, and tower. The vain he will disgrace, the haughty he'll abase. So put your trust in his exalted power. Revive the spirit of the humble. Revive the spirit of the meek. So you revive the eyes of the eternal. For you revive the spirit that he seeks. We are his sons, he is our father. We are the clay, he is the potter. We are all the work of his hand. How can the vessel think itself greater than he who is its creator? Which of us can question his plan? Revive the spirit of the humble. Revive the spirit of the meek. So you revive the eyes of the eternal. For you revive the spirit that he seeks. You revive the spirit that he
to fend off an invasion, so our city ever stands. Here is his taxation, these are his demands. Take the vessels made of silver that the sanctuary stores, the gold upon each pillar, and the gold upon the doors. For this is what I added to the beauty of that place. If it keeps our city planted, Can these goods not be replaced? And many other treasures I send unto this king. Now we pray this humble gesture will be met with high esteem. To fend off an invasion, so our city ever stands, we will yield to his taxation. We will pay what he demands.
Has a mission when he receives a vision to state it in the ears of everyone. When he obtains a message, then he proclaims the presage, and when it happens, then his job is done. He might write it on a table, so everyone is able to understand what God will bring to pass. But then what God has willed hereafter is fulfilled, and everything he wrote is in the past. But the prophecy God gives to me is not confined to history. Yes, much of this will happen once again. For there will be duality in present-day reality, and so I must preserve it. I must preserve it with the pen. This current information holds latter revelation, so I write it on a table and in a book. These historical depictions contain their own predictions, so in both the past and future we can look. What will be the outcome? What will soon resolve? Just look into the former things its record now can solve. It shows us what will happen, reveals the latter end. It tells tomorrow's stories, the future it portends. For the prophecy God gives to me is not confined to history. Yes, much of this will happen once again. For there will be duality in present-day reality, must preserve it with the pen. Now as you see this history, remember that it's prophecy, a preview and a pattern it portrays. Not kept for mere posterity, it gives the future clarity, what's destined to befall the latter days. Now speaking of the latter days, there are certain things I write that will only happen later. They have no present equal. I don't write them on the table, but only in this book. These words will be conveyed, denoted by the phrase, in that day.
I must go.
Together shall be led by a little child.
The cow and the bear shall feed, and their young ones shall lie down together.
And the lion shall eat straw like the ox. Shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. And in the day shall hear the words of the book, and in the day that the eyes of the blind will see out of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among them shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the people shall dwell in Zion, and Jerusalem, Jerusalem.
king among the gods. Our loving shepherd, merciful and wise, almighty man beyond belief, among the princes he is chief. Oh, may our perfect hero now arise, zeal to be the guardian of truth, his love of justice loudly we report.
Such are the undisputed facts.
Who else performed such pious acts?
Who else lent such generous support?
Sennacherib, our mighty king, Sennacherib, your praise we sing. O King of Earth's four quarters, we are your brave supporters. Sennacherib, your tribute we bring. He graciously gives aid unto his poor,
And destitute to populate his right.
yet he's the mighty king by whom the insolence will be consumed. With lightning of the wicked he will strike.
Behold the bounteous tribute Jerusalem's throne has paid.
We humbly lay it before you.
This pageantry on parade,
This pageantry on parade, this pageantry on parade.
earth to tremble, and every kingdom shakes. He makes the world the wilderness, each nation's will he breaks. No other king is like him, he is utterly unique. Give your strength unto him, or he will make you weak. Give him your attention, for he prepares to speak.
Undefeated, I'm undefeated. See what my mighty hand has done, and how my record stands as undefeated. I'm undefeated, so none can stand against my iron will. I alone possess my shrewdness and my skill. Every rank we have is grander, every guard like a commander, for our training and our tactics are advanced. With such uncommon soldiers, there's no army that is bolder, for the power of our weapons is enhanced. Every one of our formations, from the center to each wing, could take a city by itself and give the fatal sting. All the others are defenseless, because every soldier senses that regarding all my princes, everyone is like a king. We're undefeated, we're undefeated. All other gods are smashed or charred, all other kings and nobles are defeated. They are defeated. Behold, I gather eggs from every nest, and see, there's not a one who dares protest. We seek Jerusalem, this is our prayer. We seek Jerusalem, it stands in our way. For its destruction is what we see. Jerusalem, we seek to make its glory cease. Jerusalem will never know the path to peace. Now see how at my leisure I partake of every treasure that the cities I've defeated have in store. And I fill our nation's coffers with the goods they have to offer. But regardless of their tribute, I want more. Jerusalem eventually will fall into our grip.
This indomitable conqueror will take what's rightly his,
and we will not stop trying
until on the Mount of Zion
our great nation's flag is flying, and their Hezekiah is defeated. Is defeated. No tribute that he offers us will ever see my global lust defeated. He is defeated. Jerusalem is now within my sight. I'll exalt my throne above Mount Zion's
Many have gathered outside of these gates, preventing Jerusalem's fall.
At the charge of our king, they have shut off each spring that serves those outside of this wall. Infinite wisdom abounds from the throne
for keeping Mount Zion secure.
Though our foes may be nigh, their wells will be dry, but our waters will always be sure.
Come to the waters God has in store. Come to the waters and thirst no more. Come to the waters that He will give. Come to the waters, freely partake and live.
Crossing the deserts our ancestors faced, they never were taken by drought.
Our Lord led His flock with a plentiful rock, and from it the waters gushed out.
God has assured us His guidance is near. Our day of salvation comes soon. When the way of His mountain is marked by His fountains,
The path the eternal has hewn.
souls that are thirsty and bones that are dry will be watered and washed like a garden.
God guides and delivers with unending rivers, a testament of His great pardon.
God will respond when the arid cry out. He will neither forsake nor be cruel. He gives streams in the hills,
Each valley He fills and turns wilderness into a pool. The lame shall leap
like the dove. The tongue of the dung will shout. In the desert streams flow till it blooms like the rose. When the glory of God is poured out. Just as our God poured out drink for the parched,
and floods which the driest lands drank, so His Spirit descends on the children of men.
they will spring up as trees on the bank. Come to the waters God has in store. Come to the waters and thirst no more. Come to the waters that He will give.
Come to the waters,
Freely partake and live.
come to
I, the Rabshakeh, the general of Sennacherib the Venerable, have come here with a message for your king. Our battle cry has sounded, we have you all surrounded. To what alliance can your city cling? Your army offers no defense, no treaty gives you confidence. Your forces are exceedingly outmanned. And if you lean on Egypt's staff, a piece of wood that's snapped in half, its jagged edge would pierce right through your hand. But if you say you trust your God, what kind of shield is that facade? Your king can find your Lord to just one altar. You have no coalition to counter our ambition. Your God is on our side to make you falter.
In your own tongue please converse,
For our learning is diverse.
but speak not in the language of the Jews.
They need not overhear
What's meant for kingly ears.
Your pitiful request, ha! I refuse. This is our king's intent. For this cause have I been sent, to speak to all your people in their tongue. For they'll face intoxication on their own elimination, and your king will make them feast on their own dung. Jerusalem, your fate should make your people quiver. From Sennacherib the Great, there's no God who could deliver. Your faith your monarch claims. Do not let this persuade you. Your conviction brings you shame. It is already betrayed you. But make peace with me and open these gates, then you shall see what goodness awaits. Your own fig tree, your own vine, pure water from your well, full of grain and wine with plenty, you will dwell. Hamath had its gods, off it had its idols that could not face these odds. They're just rocks with sacred titles. Zephaphine's grove, Samaria's divinities could not defend their troves, nor fend off our hostilities. Their deities would not defend their land. So how can yours protect you from my hand?
Go to Isaiah. We must seek his counsel and support. For the children have come to the birth, but there is no strength to bring them forth.
in travail when the birth draws near, before the final moments of strain.
Her strength will often fade till it disappears when wearied by the pain.
So our city starts to faint in her great distress.
She cries out in her hour of despair.
Her trouble, her review, and her weariness
are more than she can bear.
so much heaviness that there is no strength to bring them forth, no strength which can deliver mothers in travail. No strength she has within, no strength that we can give her. All her strength has failed.
All her strength has failed. Oh, eternal, she cries out in her day of gloom.
She wonders when her labor will end.
Will you bring her to the birth just to shut the womb?
She cannot comprehend.
The sweat of life with tears, exhaustion brings forth anguish. All mothers in travail, her pangs have turned her pale. The sorrow makes her languish.
All her strength has failed. All her strength
The same year that our King Uzziah died, I saw the Eternal enthroned on high, a breathtaking vision, supremely sublime and splendid. With glorious garments this being was clothed, from heaven the hem of his skirt overflowed, and into the temple these priestly robes descended. Now standing above this magnificent chair, the bright shining seraphim ministered there, a fiery sight under which was this mercy seat framed. Of
their 6 wings.
Over their faces were 2, a pair covered their feet, and with 2 wings they flew, and one to another these luminous angels exclaimed, Holy, 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 eternal God of hosts, all the earth is full. The voices that praise the Eternal of hosts shook the doors and shook their posts, and filled all the house with spectacular, sweet-smelling smoke. I replied, Woe is me, for I am undone. I have unclean lips and an impure tongue, and I've seen the Lord, so his graciousness I must invoke. Then one of the seraphim flew unto me, intending to cleanse my iniquity. He set on my mouth a coal from the altar that glowed. A new zeal within me had suddenly surged, for he said that all my transgressions were purged. My sins, once as crimson, were now made as white as the snow. Then I heard the Eternal enquire from his throne, Whom shall I send, and for us who shall go? And I, Isaiah, uttered this eager plea. Here am I, send me. Here am I, from this calling I replied. I will not draw back, I will volunteer, I will go where I'm required. Here am I, here am I. God gave me the tongue and the ear of the learned, that I might proclaim an encouraging word, a word fitly spoken to those who are weary and faint. Here am I to hear your complaints. Here am I, from no mission will I hide. I will sign my name, I will walk by faith, I will step with valiant stride. Here am I, here am I, here am I.
we bring
tidings from our king,
requesting that you pray on our behalf.
Assyria approached,
The Lord has been reproached.
against the living God, how they have laughed.
So will our God be moved.
And will he now reprove the blasphemy the general declares?
alliances we lack to fend off an attack. We come to you now asking for your prayers.
Be not afraid and be not dismayed by the words the Assyrians spoke. He blasphemed God's name, but God brings him to shame. God will break off our enemies' yoke. Like the slaughter of Midian at the order of Gideon, God will stir up a scourge for our foe. And as Egypt was drowned when the waters came down, God will break off our enemies' yoke. Fear not a man who fades like the grass, whose breath is contained in his nose. Your oppressor's great fury is no cause for worry. God will break off our enemies' yoke. A sure alliance we now possess. Your sure alliance I now profess. It is your Messiah. He comes to Zion with his courage and his comfort. We are blessed. Comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Comfort Jerusalem. Declare with a voice strong but smooth, as only a mother can soothe. Their sins are forgiven, their warfare has come to an end. Comfort Jerusalem. Strengthen, strengthen my people, says your God. Strengthen the feeble knees. I have gathered my flock with my arm, as only a shepherd can guard. To water I lead them, and make them to lie down at peace. Strengthen the feeble knees. Be strong, fear not. Behold, your God, his right hand is holding you. Behold, he is coming soon. Be strong, fear not. Behold, your God. Behold your God, the mighty one. Behold your God, behold he comes. The path is forged, the way is paved. Behold your God, behold he comes to save. He holds oceans in his hand, measures heavens with a span. He calculates the dust of the earth. He balances and weighs hills and mountains in his scales. He knows their every measure, height, and girth. For who can be his guide, from whom is God advised, and who can be his cunning counselor? For who has formed his thoughts, from whom has God been taught, and who directs the Spirit of the Lord? Your Creator has no equal or limit, his strength has no constraint. He is never tired nor weary, never is he faint. As locusts we appear to the God whom we revere. He sits above the circle of the world, where the cosmos extends like a curtain without ends, and like a tent the heavens are unfurled. Now lift your eyes on high, behold the starry skies. Our God created everything in sight. Their number he can claim, he calls them all by name. He holds them in the greatness of his might. So the nations are a drop of a bucket, and dust upon the scales. They are valued less than nothing, their worth of no avail. Behold your God, the mighty one. Behold your God, behold he comes. The path is forged, the way is paved. Behold your God, behold he comes to save.
The king received the scroll, describing threats so bold, designed to make the bravest men afraid. What parchment did record, to heaven these words soared. He took it to the temple and he prayed. He spread it before the Lord. Every single word and every single burden, how he laid them bare. He spread it before the Lord. Every single want, every single taunt, he spread it before the Lord.
Think not the God you serve can rescue or preserve this city which my hosts have now enclosed. Jerusalem is trapped, and Zion's strength is sapped. Your dynasty and throne shall be deposed. All nations I lay waste, their gods I have disgraced. This fate your God and you will not avoid. The power of all lands is given to my hands. Their rulers have I utterly destroyed. Go spread it before your Lord. Like Telazar or Gozan or Rezeph, Eden, Haran, these realms whose gods could not withstand my sword. The kings of Hamath and Hena, Sepharvaim, Arphad, Eva, all perished, as will you and your Lord. All nations I laid waste, their gods I have disgraced. This fate your God and you will not avoid. All power of all lands is given to my hands. Their rulers have I utterly destroyed. Go spread it before your Lord.
Lord God of Israel, mid cherubim you dwell, where mighty hosts are singing your great worth. There you have set your throne, and you, O God alone, created all in heaven in earth. Eternal, bend your ear, that you, O Lord, may hear the blasphemy the enemy proclaims. And open now your eyes, behold how he defies the living God he brazenly defames. I spread it for you, Lord, every single word and every single burden, how I live to bear. I spread it for you, Lord, every single want, every single taunt, I show you every care. Oh, hear my urgent prayer. I spread it for you, Lord. I spread it for you, Lord.
If you show the wicked favor, he never will be just. He will not behold your glory if he lays us in the dust. Let him behold you, God, and rightly be ashamed. Smite him with your zeal, consume him with your flame. We have waited for you, Lord, for justice we inquire. To see your fame remembered, this is our soul's desire. Other lords have ruled us, other masters than our God, but only you we mention, and only you we laud. We spread it before you, Lord. Every single phrase, every single praise, your works beyond compare. Your honor we declare. We spread it before you, Lord.
All nations they their gods they have disgraced. Their lifeless idols made of stones and trees. Now save us from his hand. You're the only God who can. So all nations worship you upon their knees. I spread it before you, Lord. Every single word and every single burden, how I lay them bare. I spread it before you, Lord. Every single praise, every single talk, I show you every care. Oh, here every
sickness now upon you, according to the Lord. For the future you've neglected, now death is your reward. Your house is not in order, so find yourself a wife. You must produce an heir before God ends your life. For this rule he has established his government and peace. This dynasty of David forever shall increase, until Messiah's coming, the mighty Prince of Peace, the everlasting Father, whose throne shall never cease.
Remember now, I pray, how I have walked before you and never turned away. Remember how we prospered. Remember now my part. The service I accomplished, I did with all my heart. The first year of my reign, I repaired the temple doors. I gathered every Levite to cleanse your holy courts. We sacrificed with music as David had ordained. I restored his priestly orders. Your joy we then regained. I shattered every idol. I cut down every grove. I leveled every high place that you and I both loathed. Then healing came upon us, which only you can give. For healing is forgiveness, by this, O Lord, men live. Remember, O Eternal, remember now, I pray, how I have walked before you and never turned away. Remember how we prospered, remember now my part. The service I accomplished, I did with all my heart. Forgive me and heal me.
Before I left your court, my exit was cut short. For answers came from heaven, which I heard. The Lord reversed my path, for he reversed his wrath. The God of your father David spoke this word. I have heard your prayer. I have seen your tears. See, I add to your life 15 years. For healing is forgiveness. The Lord has borne our grief. Because of his affliction, he offers us relief. His wounds for our transgressions, our sins can be repealed. His stripes for our offenses, and by them we are healed. In 3 days you'll go to God's holy place, with your life restored, you will celebrate his grace. For
Your healing is forgiveness. The Lord has borne our grief. Because of his affliction, he offers us relief. His wounds for our transgressions, our sins can be repealed. His stripes for our offenses, and by them we are healed. And as regards Jerusalem, the fervent prayers you did extend, this is what our God did state. For David's and my sake, this holy city I will defend. I will defend this city, I will defend. In my enduring pity, I will descend. Thus says the Lord, your God and friend. I will defend this city, my city, I will defend.
In this place, on this ground, not one soldier shall be found, not one bulwark will he breach. Not one footprint, not one shield, not one arrow will he wield, not one rampart will he reach. I sent burning to his camp, for your city is a lamp, and your light shall be as fires. And the glory of my name shall confront him like a flame, so he burns like thorns and briars. I will defend this city, I will defend. In my enduring pity, I will descend. Thus says the Lord, your God and friend. I will defend this city, my city, I will defend. By the way that he came, he will go back home in shame. There I hasten his demise. For my scourge I will impart, for the stoutness of his heart I will smite his haughty eyes. I will drive him where he goes, for my hook is in his nose and my bridle in his lips. Yes, regardless of his pride, he's the horse on which I ride, and his power I eclipse. I will defend this city, I will defend. In my enduring pity, I will descend. Thus says the Lord, your God and friend. I will defend this city, my city, I will defend. The shadow on its stairs reveals the earth's rotation. Time's passage it declares.
The shadow could go forward or backward 10 degrees, whichever he selected. Follow God's decrees. Now forward seemed too easy. Time always went that way.
So change the sun's direction, reverse the course of day.
This wonder God displayed, for he inhabits eternity in an everlasting
Said amid my prime, in the middle of my days, I go before my time to the gates of the grave. My life has been deprived, the remainder of my years. How could I be revived when death so quickly nears? In the land of the living, I shall not see the Lord. Denied of all perceiving, I behold my God no more. Nor can my eyes regard the others who now rest, these men whose tombs I join. Of this my prayers express. The grave cannot praise you, and death cannot extol you. Those who descend to the tomb cannot hope for your truth. But the living shall praise you and proclaim the mercy you have shown. I will make your faithfulness known. My house would be uprooted as a shepherd's tent removed. My life was with the weaver who would cut me from the loom. From day to night you end me. I pondered this till dawn, when you entered as a lion to shatter every bone. I chirped as cranes and swallows, I moaned as the dove. My eyes were soon exhausted, for how long they looked above. Oh Lord, in my oppression, you gave a wondrous sign. life are mine. The grave cannot praise you, and death cannot extol you. Those who descend to the tomb cannot hope for your truth. But the living shall praise you and proclaim the mercy you have shown. As a father would teach his children, I will make your faithfulness known. By this, the Lord, men live. You made my spirit whole. Recovery you give, and life unto my soul. For my good you gave me bitterness, and rescued me from death. You granted me forgiveness, and paid my fatal debt.
Praise the Lord in heaven, within His holy
Egypt kept God's people slaves, our history shows how God did save. To his blazing wrath, this land would feel exposure. So through encampments of the foe, the chief of all their strength he smote. When the angel of death, when the angel of death passed over. But all of Israel who obeyed the voice of God, they safely stayed within each guarded house as their enclosure. The shed blood of a spotless lamb distinguished them from heathen camps. When the angel of death, when the angel of death passed over, our God will hover like the birds, whose wings will cover those they serve. He will pass over, he will preserve, he will pass over, he will preserve. Now on this night the angel of the Lord eternal went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrian 185,000 men. By threats our Lord is not dismayed, and guarding, prowling, unafraid upon his prey. Our God is like a lion. Behold your God who now descends to rule sudden heroes and defends, and fights for his beloved hill, Mount Zion. Why trust in Egypt to defend? They are not gods, but only men. Their voices are not spirit, rather flesh. Assyria falls by a sword, not forged by flesh, but by the Lord. All treaties fail when God's hand is outstretched. Oh, turn to the Lord who speaks these words, and with your own eyes witness his acclaim. To those who try to burn us, this city is God's furnace, and Zion is his fire and his flame. Our God will hover like the birds, whose wings will cover those they serve. He will pass over, he will preserve.
Hezekiah I extorted, so his goods would be imported, and he thought he was submitting to my yoke. But my demands were not adjusted, since for more my heart had lusted, so then his beloved city I would choke. Yes, he paid me all this tribute, so my greed would be assuaged. But I trapped his city anyway, like birds within a cage. Yet with force our camp was raided, just before my troops invaded, just like Lucifer degraded from the war he tried to wage. Defeated, he was defeated, like lightning down he went, to dust was his descent. Defeated, he was defeated, though many high ambitions he had sworn, he now is chided, ridiculed, and scorned. How the virgin Zion's daughter must be laughing at my slaughter, and Jerusalem now shakes her head at me. Who truly have I taunted? Who truly has responded? Could it be this nation's God I cannot see? By the multitude of chariots my strength was set upon, the heights of every mountain, even unto Lebanon. I have cut down every cedar, I have conquered every border, I have dried up every river, and yet all my strength is gone. Defeated, I am defeated. Was I the one who ruled, or just some fleshly tool? Defeated, I am defeated. Was I the sharp genius in command, or just a sharpened axe within his hand? Defeated, I am defeated. Was I the demigod, or just a mortal rod? Defeated, I am defeated. Was I the mighty power in command, or just a simple staff within his hand?
City once called desolate is now his wedded wife.
He calls his people Hephzibah,
Your Lord and King's delight.
as a bridegroom filled with joy, for the maiden he did choose.
So your builders shall rejoice, for he has married you.
Though we were called forsaken, our God gives us a name that signifies our radiance, that represents our fame. For righteousness and justice, our city shall be sought. They come to see our brightness, they come to be taught. We seek Jerusalem, many will say. We seek Jerusalem, show us the way. For God's instruction is what we seek. Jerusalem, we seek your perfect path to peace. And from the heights, our city lights will stir the hearts of those in flight and show them that their trek is soon complete. And in their throngs, their joyous songs will speed the place for which they long, till melody and gladness fill our streets. We seek Jerusalem, many will say. We seek Jerusalem, show us the way. For God's instruction is what we seek. Jerusalem, we seek your perfect path to peace.
When our immortality is granted,
From this place the heavens shall be planted.
From New Jerusalem, God's vast creation has no end. From here the universe shall be expanded. We seek New Jerusalem, for this we pray. We seek Jerusalem, this is the way. God's holy city is what we seek. Jerusalem, we seek your laws. This is our journey's lofty cause. Jerusalem, we seek your perfect path to peace.
The voices crying out, the desert hears its shout.
The wilderness can hear the prophet's call.
A path will be prepared, a highway will be there, presenting our Messiah unto all.
Every valley he will raise,
Every hill he will erase, and level every mountain like a field.
He'll make the crooked straight,
and the rocky places plain,
until the Lord's glory is revealed.
The voice of him who brings good tidings, bring these hopeful words to Zion, shouted from the highest mountain, be not afraid. The voice of him who brings good tidings, tell Jerusalem this news, lift your voice with strength unto the cities of Judah. Now say, behold your God, the mighty one. Behold your God, behold he comes. The path is forged, the way is paved. Behold our God, behold he comes to save.
Behold your loving God, he holds a shepherd's rod.
and comes to govern with a mighty hand.
The arm of God, the Lord, comes with a rich reward. New labor and work will he command.
Our oppressors he destroys, he gives everlasting joy.
And from our hearts he makes all sadness flee.
He wipes away all tears,
All our sorrow disappears, and death is swallowed up in victory.